That's how life behaves. So. The same week, one woman's name was trending for good. Another woman's name was trending in the spiritual group chat of Kama. While Yetunde was in Abuja shaking hands with governors, Adejoke was shaking dust out of cotton. The weekend before, the Saturday, Adejuka had cleaned the whole house. It was something she did often, like she was still trying to scrub off Yetunde's shadow. Under the bed, she found one old nylon bag, Yetunde's leftover things, scarves, wrappers, and two pairs of flat shoes. She hissed and muttered, "This woman safe. Even in her absence, her spirit dey still smell around this place." She lined everything neatly by the wall, meaning to throw them out later. But you know how life works. Later has a way of turning to never. That evening, the house looked spotless. Her stomach was heavy now, 9 months gone. The kind of pregnancy where just standing up felt like climbing Olumo rock. But you know women, even with belly full of baby, she still wanted to look fine. The brother had come to the house to do her hair. A young name called Peace. She was a talkative, cheerful, and always ready with gossip. "Auntie Ade, it's your hair. It will be very fine," Peace said, patting her braids. Adejoke smiled, adjusting her clothes. Please oh, let me look sweet before this my baby lands. Kunle say I dey shine when I go do Ghana weaving. It's true oh aunty, you have a beautiful face, Peace said. How much is the hair? Adejoke asked, reaching for her purse. It's just 5,000 naira. When Adejoke opened her purse, she froze. It was empty, not even a single note was inside. Ha! She gasped, checking again. Abeg, Peace, don't get angry. Abeg, make I just rush go that ATM wey dey for junction. I didn't even know I didn't have any cash in my purse. Peace laughed. No wahala aunty, I'll wait. Adejoke struggled to stand up, one hand on her waist, one on her belly. I won't waste time, okay? The ATM is just close to this estate. She looked around for her slippers, the regular soft ones she wore around the house, but couldn't find it. The house help had mopped and arranged everything earlier. All the shoes, all the slippers lined up neatly by the door, including Yetunde's old pairs she had brought out that morning. Without thinking, Adejoke slipped her feet into the Ankara slippers, the same ones she once gave Yetunde. "Make I come, she said, tying her scarf tightly. She didn't even notice the faint smell of camphor rising from them. The road to the ATM wasn't far. Just around the corner, the sun was hot and she was sweating before she even reached the junction. People greeted her as she passed. "Madam, your time don dey reach oh," one woman said. Adejoke laughed. She reached the ATM, panting a little. There were about 6 people in the line, men and women, all looking tired from the sun. She sighed and leaned on the wall, one hand supporting her back. Madam, can you stand?" one man asked kindly. "You will give birth any moment from now." Adejoke smiled shyly. I came to run a small errand. I just want to withdraw something small." The man shook his head. "Abeg, come stand for my front jare. If you born here now, wetin we go talk?" Everyone laughed. Adejoke laughed too, rubbing her belly. "God bless you, sir. It's just 5,000 I want to take." "Go ahead, madam," the man said, stepping aside gallantly. "Before this ATM go turn to delivery room." People chuckled again as she moved forward, slotting her card into the machine. The machine whirred. She selected 5,000 and the cash came out smoothly. "Thank you, Jesus," she whispered, taking the money. She smiled at the man. "God bless you, sir." The man nodded, waving his hand. "No wahala. Safe delivery oh." She was about to turn away when she noticed a sting near her ankle. She frowned and looked down. "Mosquito," she murmured. But before she could react, another shot of pain came. This time, deeper, hotter, spreading fast. She cried out, jumping back slightly. The man who helped her stepped closer. "Madam, are you okay?" She nodded quickly, even though her heart was already racing. Yes, maybe insect bite." But as she bent down, she saw the slippers she was wearing, the same Ankara slippers she wore from the house. The moment her eyes met them, a cold wave passed through her body. Her hand trembled. "No, it can't be." Another jolt of pain ripped through her leg. She kicked them off and screamed, "Blood of Jesus." The queue scattered instantly. People shouted, "Na mad woman. Maybe she dey born." The security guard came rushing. "Madam, what is it?" Adejoke was crying now, clutching her leg. "I didn't mean to wear it," she wailed. "I swear I didn't mean to wear it." The crowd whispered louder. She just threw slippers like say e don born her. "Na juju oh. See her belle. She wants to kill her child." scratching her leg. Tears ran freely. She didn't know it yet, but that single mistake had reversed everything, because the moment her leg began to burn, the charm she used on Kule broke quietly completely. While she limped home, Kule was sitting in the living room staring into the space. For the first time in months, his mind felt clear, too clear. He blinked, looked around and frowned. What am I even doing in this house? He muttered. Adedoke entered, limping and sweating, face twisted in pain. Kule, please help me. Please help me. Where did you go? You just left the house anyhow. You didn't even tell anybody. I went to withdraw money for the hair girl. Money for what? You keep going about with your big belly like goat that have not given birth. You want to kill yourself? She froze. This was not the same Kune who used to call her my sweet wife, my peace. Something had changed. His eyes were cold, sharp and cruel. From that day, his voice carried thunder. He shouted at her for salt, for stew, for breathing too loud, for walking too slowly, for talking too much. He stopped calling her by name. Now it was, you, this woman. Adireke would cry at night, rubbing her stomach, whispering, Kule, please calm down. Remember the baby. He would hiss, which baby? The one you used to tie me down? You think I don't know your plan? Her tears mixed with sweat, but the more she cried, the colder he became. Whatever bound him before was gone. Her legs swelled fast, red, turned black. The smell started. Kule couldn't bear it. What is this odor every time? You want to turn this place into a mortuary? Kule, please, I'm dying, she cried. I want to go to the hospital. You've not started though, he spat. You, this bad luck woman. He stopped eating her food, stopped sleeping in the room. Sometimes he would just sit in silence, shaking his head, muttering, God punished the day I met you. One night when she begged him to buy her medicine, he slapped her hand away. I don't have money. You've caused me bad luck. You want me to give a witch like you money? She gasped, Kule, you think I don't know? You destroyed my life? You and that your juju? She broke down completely. Kule, please, I'm almost due. He laughed dryly. Then go and give birth to that your child outside though. He dragged her bag, threw it out and pointed at the door. If you stay here till morning, it is your corpse they will carry out of here. She fell on her knees crying. Kule, please, I have nowhere to go. He kicked her hand away. Go back to your gods. Those ones you keep meeting every single time. That night, the door slammed behind her for the last time. For a few seconds, Adejoke didn't move. She stood there in the hot afternoon, one hand on her stomach, the other on the wall, shaking like someone who had just seen a ghost. Her leg was on fire. The swelling had spread to her knee now, tight, shiny, angry looking. Each heartbeat sent a sting through her veins. She tried to knock again weakly. Kule, Kule, please, open the door. But there was silence. She banged the door once more, her voice breaking. Kule, please, I don't have anywhere to go to, please, for the sake of your baby. Inside, she could hear the faint sound of music. He had turned up the TV. She bent slowly, picked up her bag from the floor. Her back ached. Her belly felt heavy like stone. The baby kicked again as if protesting the chaos around them. She tried to sit on the small veranda step, but even that hurt. Her foot had started to darken around the ankle, a purple shade crawling under the skin. Please, God, don't let me die, she whispered. People were passing by the compound gate, going about their day. After a while, she gathered herself and limped to the junction. Her steps were slow, uneven. She didn't even know where she was going. She just needed to move. When she reached the main road, she flagged down a keke. The driver, an older man with tired eyes, looked at her foot and frowned. Madam, are you sure you can walk like this? She shook her head. Please take me to chemist. Just any pharmacy near roundabout. He helped her in gently. The keke rattled down the street, the wind blowing dust into her face. She held her stomach with both hands and tried not to cry. At the pharmacy, the attendant took one look at her and stepped back. Madam, this thing has passed what you scream for. You need to go to the hospital. Adejoke begged. Please just give me something, anything. I don't have money for hospital now. The woman sighed and told her some painkillers and ointments. Adejoke took them without arguing, anything to feel a little less pain. She used the last of her 5,000 to pay, leaving just 300 naira in her purse. She limped outside, sat on a cement block, and rubbed the ointment on her leg. The heat from the sun mixed with the sting of the swelling, and she winced. She didn't even notice when tears started falling again. She wasn't crying loud, just quiet tears, the kind that comes when pride is too tired to shout. After a long while, she pulled herself up together and started walking down the street again, slowly dragging the bad leg, one step at a time. Nobody knew where she was going, not even her. But life knew, and it was leading her straight to the part of the story where consequences always waited. She stayed that way for days, sleeping behind a locked provision shop, using her wrapper as pillow and roof. The pain in her leg grew worse, spreading up to her thigh, till even standing felt like punishment. Her money had finished. The chemist refused to give her more medicine on credit. One afternoon, hunger and shame dragged her to the roadside near Bodija Junction. She sat there quietly at first, covering her face whenever people passed. But when her stomach growled loud and her baby kicked, she stretched out a small plastic bowl and whispered, "Please, you people should help me. Oh. I've not eaten since morning." And just like that, Adejoke, the once proud madam of the house, became a roadside beggar. Meanwhile, for Kunle, everything seemed fine for a while. He no longer forgot random things. He could sleep through the night without hearing strange voices. He started to believe that maybe, just maybe, sending Adejoke away had restored his luck. He said it often, even to himself. "Since that woman left, everything feels better," he muttered, half proud, half relieved. He began to tidy up his life again, polished his shoes, ironed his shirt, rewrote his CV. He spent long afternoons at the cyber cafe, printing applications and sending emails to companies he hadn't heard from in years. Banks, construction firms, consultancy firms, even one microfinance office in Abeokuta. Each time he hit send, he whispered under his breath, "God, this time let it work." Sometimes he would sit outside afterwards, sipping cheap beer and convincing himself that things were finally turning around. In the evenings, the neighborhood children played football on the street and shouted. He watched them from his window, a faint smile on his lips, as though the sound of their happiness could wash his own regrets clean. He didn't know that peace built on another person's pain is only a loan, and repayment always comes, whether you're ready or not. A week later, Kunle finally got a call. "Good morning, sir. We saw your CV last month. Please come for an interview tomorrow." He froze for a moment, then smiled. Finally, his luck had returned. He cleaned up shirts, ironed his clothes, even prayed, "God, please," he whispered, "let this work." The interview went perfectly. He came out grinning, feeling alive again. The manager had smiled, shaking his hand, even said, "We'll get back to you very soon." By the time he stepped out of the office, the sun was high, and for the first time in months, his heart felt light. He tried to stop by the roadside to buy a bottle of beer, humming quietly to himself. God had finally remembered him, he said. As he crossed the lane, carefully waving at a keke that slowed down for him, that was when it happened. A trailer came from behind, fast, heavy and loud. The driver's horn blared once, long and desperate. People screamed. Kule froze, bottle still in hand. The next sound was the screech of metal against concrete, then a crash, so violent it silenced the entire street. Bystanders scattered. Someone shouted, "Blood of Jesus!" The bottle rolled out of Kule's hand, spinning quietly on the asphalt. Then, blank. When Kule opened his eyes again, everything was white. The ceiling, the bed sheet, even the smell, that sterile hospital smell that burns your nose and your pride at the same time. He tried to turn, but pain shot through him like electricity. He tried again, this time to move his legs, but there was nothing. No weight, no response, just emptiness. His voice came out weak. "Nurse! Nurse, please, I can't feel my legs." The nurse looked at him for a moment, her eyes heavy with pity. "Sir, please rest," she said softly. "The doctor will come soon." Minutes later, the doctor walked in, a calm man in glasses, his face already rehearsed for bad news. He checked Kule's chart, sighed, and sat by the bed. "Mr. Kule," he began, "we did everything we could, but both legs were crushed completely. We had to amputate below the knee." For a long time, Kule just stared at him. The words didn't land immediately. They hung in the air, heavy, unreal. He tried to laugh, but it came out as a broken sound. "Doctor," he said finally, voice shaking. "Please say that again, please." The doctor looked away. "I'm sorry, you will need time to heal." That was when it hit him. Not just the loss of his legs, but the memory of every woman he had ever made crawl. Kule stared blankly, tears rolling down his cheeks. The man who once called others burdens was now a burden himself. 3 days later, Adejoke sat by the roadside near Bodija roundabout. Her belly was still round, the baby refusing to come. Her foot black and swollen, oozed pus. Flies hovered. People passed holding their noses. Someone whispered, "Ah, is she not that woman that they said used juju on her husband?" She muttered to herself. Adejoke heard them. She always did. But this time she didn't answer. She only muttered weakly, "I didn't mean to wear it. It's the slippers." Her voice faded into dust. Just then, a black government SUV slowed to a stop nearby. From the tinted window, Yetunde looked out and froze. At first, she didn't believe her eyes. The woman sitting in the dust, hair scattered, wrapper torn, face swollen, was someone she used to know. Someone who once laughed in her house. Someone who was called her sister. "Driver, stop," she said quietly. The car pulled over. As Yetunde stepped out, people around began to whisper, "Ah, it's the minister that we see on TV or see am. Hey, she's fine in real life oh." Yetunde didn't hear them. Her eyes were fixed on the figure before her. Every step she took felt heavy, not with anger but with the weight of everything that had come full circle. Adejoke looked up slowly, her lips trembling. When her eyes met Yetunde's, something in her broke completely. Tears mixed with dust on her cheeks. "Yetunde," she whispered, "forgive me, please." Yetunde stood still for a moment, saying nothing. The crowd was silent now, waiting to see what she would do. Finally, she spoke, her voice calm, steady but soft enough to sting. "Adejoke, I forgave you a long time ago, but forgiveness doesn't stop harvest." Adejoke sobbed harder, clutching her belly. "I'm about to give birth. Please pray for me." Yetunde's eyes glistened. She bent slowly, looking at her with deep pity, not for who she was, but for what she had become. "I will pray," she said slowly, "but not for the old you. I'll pray for mercy and the child to never inherit this pain." Adejoke nodded weakly, unable to speak. Yetunde turned, walked back to the car, and closed the door. As the vehicle drove up, a gust of wind lifted dust over Adejoke's feet. She looked down at them, swollen, blistered, lifeless, and whispered to herself, "So this is how life is." That same evening, in a hospital ward across town, Ule sat in a wheelchair staring at the TV. And today, Honorable Mr. Yetunde Afolayan had been awarded for an outstanding service to women and finance in Nigeria. He froze. There she was, standing tall, smiling, radiant. He whispered, "Yetunde." A tear dropped down his cheek. "You forgave me, and God still lifted you." The next morning, headlines carried two stories side by side. Pregnant woman found dead near Akure roundabout. Honorable Yetunde Afolayan wins National Service Award. Mama Abike folded the newspaper slowly, sighed and said, "Ah, life. It doesn't shout before it balances account. Every debt must be paid completely." And that was how it ended. The woman who was buried in shame became the one the world celebrated. The one who danced on another's tears died begging for air. And the man who thought he was master of his home learned that guilt moves faster than legs. even when you no longer have them. Because life doesn't forget what it owes. It just waits. And when it comes to collect, it doesn't knock. The end. Wow. Thank you so much for staying with me till the end. Thank you for your patience. This story came with plenty of lessons, and I just have to highlight a few. Firstly, it's important that even though we'll be kind, we should also be wise. Not every apology deserves a seat in your living room. Yetunde made that mistake. She opened her heart to a girl who came with tears, but those tears were laced with trouble. Some people cry not because they've changed though, but because they want a closer look at what's left of your peace. So protect your space, my besties. Forgive, yes, but sometimes forgiveness is safer from a distance. Secondly, you can never steal peace and keep it oh. Adejoke thought she could trick her way into love and marriage. She believed marrying another woman's husband will heal her hunger. But you see you can borrow another person's perfume, but you can't borrow their fragrance. What doesn't belong to you will always reject you. She sowed deceit and harvested disgrace. Thirdly, karma doesn't need directions. Kunle called himself man of the house. When life came knocking, he was the one thrown outside. He laughed when Yetunde limped, but ended up crawling his entire life. You see, wickedness may work tough for a season, but justice never limps. Finally, don't curse your trials too quickly. Sometimes the same road that breaks you is the one that carries you to your destiny. Yetunde didn't curse, she didn't fight dirty. She just kept her peace, and somehow peace fought for her. So, my besties, before we close, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what did you learn from this story? Was it about kindness, about karma, or about the power of silence? Please share your thoughts below. I'll be reading every single one of them. And please, if you enjoyed this story, don't just scroll away oh. Hit that like button, drop your thoughts or that keep going comment for me, and subscribe if you haven't for more premium truth-filled gists. Because one thing is certain, life may delay justice, but it never ever forget. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.